Adult Solutions. Add-on desires.
Welcome to Adult Solutions Current Affairs program. This is Koteshwar. First, we are going to discuss the international affairs as part of today's current affairs. New study finds COVID-19 immunity lasts for 6 months longer after infection. University of Michigan scientists have cleared up the dilemma of how long the corona will be protected once it arrives. Study of 130 people, the scientists found that antibodies were effective for up to 6 months after the corona infection. In general, after the infection, our body will make or produce the antibodies. In this case of corona, the antibodies lasts for 6 months in our body. Rising tensions between the North and South Korea. The two rival countries conducted missile tests on Wednesday as part of growing tensions between the North and South Korea. North Korea initially tested 2 short-range ballistic missiles. A few hours later, South Korea also tested its first submarine ballistic missile. North Korea, led by Kim Jong-un, has been committing provocations in the wake of the lack of progress in the nuclear talks with the United States. China in lockdown. China has imposed severe lockdowns in many areas as COVID cases continue to rise. Authorities have made strict arrangements throughout the city of Putian in Fujian province. In addition, a number of restrictions have been implemented in the cities of Xiamen and Guangzhou in view of the spread of the Delta variant. Fall in COVID-19 cases around the world. The World Health Organization WHO says there has been a decline in the COVID cases worldwide with 40 lakh cases reported last week. This is the first time in more than 2 months that the number of cases has dropped significantly. Worldwide COVID deaths dropped to 62,000 last week. Drop in mortality was highest in Northwest Asia and 7% increase in Africa. Corona cases were highest in the United States, Britain, India, Iran and Turkey. The Delta variant, which is highly contagious, has spread to 180 countries. Shanghai Cooperation Organization annual conference on the 17th of this month. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO annual conference will be held on the 17th of this month in Dushanbe, the capital of the Tajikistan. While Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar himself is going to there, our Prime Minister Modi ji will take part in the virtual process. Actually, this Shanghai Cooperation Organization was formed in 2001 on the date of June 15th. When it was formed, there are only 6 member states. In 2017, India and Pakistan also became a member states in this cooperation. So, total member states in Shanghai Cooperation Organization are 8. These are the China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan both became member states in Shanghai Cooperation Organization in 2017. Don't need lessons from failed state like Pakistan. India hits out at Pak for rising Kashmir issue at United Nations Human Rights Commission. As the issue of Kashmir was raised by Pakistan at United Nations Human Rights Commission, India once again slammed Pakistan at UN platform with sharp words. India said that it does not need lessons from a failed states like Pakistan, which is the epicenter of the terrorism and worst abuser of the human rights. Modi talks with the Prime Minister of Australia. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday held talks with Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison in the wake of the Quad Summit. Talks on comprehensive Indo-Australian strategic partnership. The Supreme Court gave the centre a 2-week deadline. The Supreme Court has slammed the centre for its handling of appointments to the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal and the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. The central government has been directed to fill the vacancies in various tribunals in the country within the 2 weeks. NCRB report finds 28% jump in registration of cases in 2020. The nationwide crime rate in 2020 was 28% higher than in 2019. According to the annual report released by the National Crime Records Bureau (NCRB) on Tuesday, in 2019, 51.56 lakh cases were registered across the country, and in 2020, 66.10 lakh cases were registered throughout the country. In 2009, there were 385.5 cases per lakh population, while in 2020, there were 487.8 cases per lakh population. 100% foreign investment allowed in telecom sector. The Modi government has taken another key step in the path of reforms in telecom sector. The Union Cabinet on Wednesday allowed 100% foreign direct investments (FDIs) in the country's telecom sector via automatic route. Till now, only 49% of the FDI was allowed through the automatic route, and anything beyond this had to necessarily go through the government route. The center has given another piece of good news to telecom companies by imposing a 4-year moratorium on the payment of AGR arrears. We have to know what are the foreign direct investments here. Foreign direct investments are the investments coming from the foreign nations to Indian industries or service sector units, which gives the ownership rights to the foreigners or foreign companies. NGRI to conduct a heli-bond survey in northwest India. The National Geophysical Research Institute of India, NGRI, will use the heli-bond geophysical mapping technique for the exploration and management of water resources over an area of 4 lakh square kilometers in northwestern India. NGRI has finalized an agreement with the Union Ministry of Water Resources for the project, which will be undertaken in 2 phases. Third stage clinical trials on the Sputnik Light vaccine. Dr. Reddy's Laboratories is preparing to launch the single-dose COVID vaccine in our country that was actually developed by the Russian Direct Investment Fund (RDFI). As part of this, Drugs Controller General of India (DCGI) has given permission to conduct the third phase of clinical trials in our country. The RDIF has previously reported that the Sputnik Light vaccine has 79.4% effective, so that the Reddy's are also try to launch the vaccine here in India. Incentives of 26,058 crore for the automotive and drone sector. The Union Cabinet on Wednesday approved 26,058 crores production linked incentives (PLI) for auto components and drone industries to enhance the India's manufacturing capabilities. Union Minister Anurag Thakur said on Wednesday. Times 100 most influential people of 2021. PM Narendra Modi, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, and Serum Institute of India CEO Adar Poonawalla have been named among the 100 most influential people of 2001 by the Times magazine. The list includes US President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, former President Trump, Chinese President Jinping, and Taliban co-founder Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar. Complaint to the Election Commission of India against the Kerala BJP. Kerala State Police Chief's report on illegal distribution of 40 crore by the Kerala Bharatiya Janata Party in various assembly constituencies during the last assembly elections has been forwarded to the Election Commission of India by the Kerala State Chief Electoral Officer. Andhra Pradesh. Nightingale Awards for 2 women from the state. President Ramnath Kovind on Wednesday presented the National Florence Nightingale Awards to 2 women from the Andhra Pradesh states who provided the best medical services. Professor Dr. Padmaja of the College of Nursing under the auspices of Sri Venkateswara Institute of Medical Sciences and D. Rupa Kala Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota, received the awards at an online event. Non-bailable warrant issued to Poonam Malakondaya. The High Court has expressed outrage over Poonam Malakondaya, the Special General Secretary of the Agriculture Department, for being absent from the hearing in a content of court case. The High Court issued a non-bailable warrant against Poonam Malakondaya. 53.75 lakh Disha app downloads in Andhra Pradesh. The state government has announced that 53.75 lakh people in the state have so far downloaded the Disha mobile app aimed at protecting women in emergency cases. It has been revealed that 580 cases have been registered so far based on the complaint received through the Disha app. Telangana, Esperer Cancer Research Center in Hyderabad, Esperer Nutrition, which is a clinical nutrition services company, has set up a cancer nutrition research center in Hyderabad. The center conducts lab research suitable for the prevention of cancer and other serious diseases through the nutrition-based therapies. This is the first research center in the country. Malabar Group to invest 750 crore rupees in Telangana. The Malabar Group, a well-known international company based in Kerala, has decided to set up 750 crore diamond and jewelry manufacturing and refining industry in Telangana. The company said it would provide direct employment to the 2,500 people. Drone testing corridor in Telangana. The Telangana government plans to establish a drone testing corridor in the state soon, considering the boom in the drone industry. IT and Industries Minister KT Ramarao said on Wednesday. Sports. Manika Batra left out of team. Star paddler Manika Batra was left out of the Indian squad for the Asian Table Tennis Championships starting September 29th in Doha. Manika did not attend the mandatory national camp in Sonepat. In the absence of Batra, 97th ranked Sutirtha Mukherjee will lead the women's team. Hanuma Vihari to Hyderabad again. Team India Test specialist Hanuma Vihari will return to domestic cricket for Hyderabad after 5 years. He left Hyderabad in 2015-16 season and joined the Andhra team, and now he will play for the Hyderabad again. Sumit Sangwan begins well in new weight division. Sumit, an Olympian and Asian medalist, won the first round of the 86 kg category at the National Boxing Championships, started on Wednesday at the Inspire Institute of Sports campus, Vijayanagar, Karnataka. These are the today's current affairs. Keep watching Adult Solutions Current Affairs program to get the regular updates on current affairs. Thank you.
Adult Solutions. Add-on Desire.